Hi there, and welcome to our session on data integration, design and development. In this session I'll be looking at the following subject areas. We're going to begin by looking at just what data integration is, and then we'll move on and look at the data integration architecture before looking at just what the data integration requirements for an organisation are. We'll then move on a little and look at business requirements and also some of the data sourcing requirements in order to make data integration work within an organisation. So let's first of all take a look at data integration. Well, data integration combines data from different sources. Those sources might be CRM systems, they might be cloud applications, they might be unstructured files, they could be from any system or any data source within the organisation or in fact external to the organisation. The aim of data integration is to bring together all of the data and then to transform it so that it is consistent, comprehensive, clean, conformed and current. These are known as the 5 C's, and you'll read about them in this week's material. A large amount of the business intelligence project time and effort is actually spent on the data integration parts of the project. So moving on, now we could look at the data integration architecture itself. Whilst business intelligence projects are carried out in isolation, it's important that the data and the information architecture is developed at an organisational wide level. The data integration architecture shows the flow of data from many different data sources through a series of transformational processes that are used to create this consistent, conformed, comprehensive, clean and current information, the 5 C's. The data integration workflow shows the flow of data and the transformations that have to occur. The most simple workflow will show an enterprise data warehouse leading to a data mart. However, more complex workflows can also show many different data stores and other more specific data marts in the workflow. So looking at the data integration requirements, to fully design the data integration architecture, sometimes referred to as the DIA, this requires detailed information about all of the data sources, the targets and the transformational processes necessary to achieve the 5 C's. So before designing the data integration architecture, you need to have a data and information architecture in place, know the data requirements, have carried out an analysis of the data source systems, and of course have a complete set of data models. So now to look at the business requirements. For a successful data integration, it's also necessary to determine the business requirements. It is important to know the following. How up to date does the data need to be in relation to the data source systems? How far back in time does data need to be provided for, and at what point should data be archived? What are the necessary security, privacy and accessing rights procedures? And also, are there any regulatory compliance issues to be aware of that impact on the data stored and the information produced? And then finally, it's important to look at the data sourcing requirements. For each of the data source systems, there are a number of issues that need to be addressed. A few of those key issues are as follows. How will each of the data source systems be accessed? Will data be pushed automatically, or will the data be pulled from the data source system by a data integration tool? What levels of system availability exist? When will each data source be available for data extraction? And also, do any of the data sources require staging areas? And what are the database strategies in place that may impact on the data integration processes? So to summarise this session then, we've looked at just what data integration is. We've looked at the DIA, the data integration architecture, and then we've looked at some of the requirements for data integration, some of the requirements for business, and also some of the data sourcing requirements. So finally, thanks very much for watching. I hope that some of the content discussed has been helpful to you and that you found it interesting and informative for your work on the module. Thank you.